let's talk betting. All right. What is betting? Betting is a game of chance. It is where if you decide something will go in a certain direction, and it does, and you placed money, you win. Okay. And if it goes on the opposite direction, you lose, but there's someone or something that wins eventually. Okay. So either you put money or you don't put money. It's a bet. You know, let's bet, I'll race you to that place. There's a reward at the end of it. All right. It's a very addictive game. And it is a billion-dollar industry. It has changed lives, either to the positive or to the negative. And so has everything else. From entertainment to alcohol to everything, even medicine, everything has changed lives, either to the positive or to the negative. All right. So when someone decides to place a bet, it is a gamble. Okay. You're not sure if you're going to make it back, but you're hoping, fingers crossed. So if you get it back, you will say it is a good thing. And that is what has been happening. When someone places a bet and they win, for them, betting is a good thing. When someone else places a bet and it goes the other way and they don't win, now betting is a bad thing. Okay? Alrighty. Since time immemorial, people have been placing bets on a number of things. Okay? And it still happens until now. Okay? And betting in Kenya specifically was being marketed by the old media. That's what we call them nowadays. Terrestrial media. I'm talking about TV, print, radio, billboards. Okay? And you go to the casinos. It was happening old school. And then the digital economy came up. And people realize that people are now more on their phones than they're on their TVs and on their radios. And when you get to the digital media, there are people who run this shit. They're called influencers. Okay? They're on the digital space. From Snapchat, TikTok, OnlyFans, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, name them, all of them. Okay? So what do the investors of betting do? So they decide and say, now we're going to use these people because they're the ones who are talking directly to the people that we want to talk to. All right? So they take a bunch of them. About 75% of influencers online are making their money from betting sites somewhere. Okay? There's always like a betting game, there's a crash game, there's an aviator, there's a game that's gonna be played, there's odds, there's whatever. So majority, like about 75% of influencers make their living out of influencing for betting companies and sites. Okay, so a lot of young people automatically got influenced to get into this space, and some won and some lost. Okay, the same way a lot of young people take alcohol and abuse drugs, and some don't and some do. And the government put regulations on alcohol, the sale of alcohol, and said it should not be sold to people under 18 years, should not be sold at certain spaces, should not be this, should not be that. All right? And it's being followed. All right? And they also sat down and said, okay, now for betting, we also don't want this and this and this and this happen. The whole shebang. And it was being followed. And then the guys in the betting space started fighting with each other. Okay? The big bosses over there. Oh, these guys are making more money than us. Now, for hali wawili wakimenyana, ni nyasi ndio inaumia. All right? So when that started happening up there, there's a lot of issues that were, okay, what do you want us to do? Okay, now let's put a hold on it because it's going to get messy and everything. And when those two fahalis are fighting, every other person is suffering the consequences. Okay? And because the government, most of the time, we know them, they don't like to do due diligence. It's just, I'll be paid at the end of the month. Let me just sign this thing. Let's pass it over. Let's move into another thing. They don't take time to calculate, think, rethink, re-strategize, come up with better ways to regulate betting or gambling, as you'd call it. Okay? So what do? They throw over a blanket and say, hey, we are suspending this thing for a month. That was a month ago. We're going to figure out what's going to happen. So they say nobody's going to market nothing on that concerns betting. and guys comply. And all our contracts are cancelled for about a month. And a lot of influencers suffered. They were like, yo, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Everybody's on the edge. Alrighty? And then about a few days ago, they do a memo. And the memo now says, there's no use of influencers in advertisements. Okay? There's no use of influencers in advertisements. So that means if there's an advert, okay, an influencer should not be in it. So this is someone who worked hard in their life so they can become influential, so they can use their influence to make money and take care of their families. But now they've gotten the influence, you're taking the bread off their mouth by telling them now you cannot use your influence to influence nothing. All right?
Wadau na wadakuzi, Government of Kenya iliweza kuban influencers kuto advertise betting companies adverts kwenye social media handles za kwao, na hii iliweza kupelekea hapo jana wana influencers ikiwemo YY comedian na Mlamwa na wengineo waliweza kwenda mbele na kuweza kulalamika na kusema kwamba government iliweza ku make decision pasipo hata kuwa engage pale. Na pia kulingana na jinsi ambavyo walivyosema hapo jana, walisema kwamba kama ni kuban gambling na betting advertisement isikuwe tu pale social media, na inafaa pia ikuwe kwenye radio na pia kwenye TV na pia kwenye newspaper pale, kwa sababu kuna haja gani uweze kuban kwa brand influencers pale social media na unaachilia TVs na radio na newspaper zizidi kuadvertise pale. Na hii iliweza ku attract attention yake Obinna, ambaye aliweza kulist mambo kadha wa kadha pale kuhusu hili swala, na akasema kwamba number 1, ban betting advertising everywhere, not just social media and influencers. Number 2, akasema influencers don't say maybe we went wrong. No, we didn't. Government didn't do due diligence. That's on them. Number 3, he went ahead and said, how do you measure who an influencer is? Na akasema last but not least, why is betting a problem? Because there are no jobs for the young people. Simple. Hapa Obinna anasema kwamba the reason why young people have indulged themselves into betting, gambling ni kwa sababu hamna kazi. Na pia kaenda mbele kusema kwamba the reason why they are doing so ni kwa sababu unapata makampuni kadha wa kadha ambazo zingewapa kazi ziwezi, kwa sababu kuna high taxes kwao, so inabidi wajaribu kukat costs za kwao na pia kupunguza manpower pale. Na Obinna aliweza kusema kwamba kilichosababisha gava kuweza kuban brand influencers kuto advertise betting companies kwa pale kwenye social media handles za kwao ni kwa sababu kulikuwa na big giants betting companies walikuwa na fight pale. Unapata one company iko able ku afford influencers ambao waletea income nyingi pale, kwa sababu brand influencers wana interact close to people unlike other media channels pale. So ikukawa na that kawivu kidogo, so ikafanya wale ambao walikuwa na feel wivu wakaamua kuleta hizi restriction na maoni za kwao, ndiposa the other companies waweze kutumia brand influencers hapo hivyo. So na kitu ambacho Obinna pia kiliweza kumuuma sana ni kusema kwamba inakuaje wanaban brand influencers ku advertise betting companies adverts, ili hali wanaachilia newspapers, TVs na radios ambazo ziko owned by these politicians. Kwa hivyo it's like yani wana cut brand influencers kuto advertise, nao wanajipea kazi wenyewe ambao already wako na job. So wanaenda kufanya brand influencers kuwa jobless, kwa sababu most of them wamekuwa kidepend on these kupiga adverts za betting. Tunapata saa hii hawana, so unapata saa hii wamesota ile mbaya. Wadau, tebu tumsikize na usahau subscribe pale unapotazama jinsi ambavyo Obinna alisema hapa hivi.